welcome to another episode of You Know
Ball, baby.
Brought to you by the Run the Play Network. I'm your host, Anthony. To my right, I got Mr. Western Conference himself. Lakers winning it all. Philly Phil.
I don't even be saying that. I'm just letting y'all know he be tripping on me. But the Lakers are still one of the best franchises of all time. I'm being for real.
There you go. I mean, this is completely off topic with the episode, but I hate that. I hate when like motherfuckers were in our Instagram comments they were like, oh, the Thunder haven't won shit and like all that, and I'm like, bro, like y'all are talking like you played on those championship rosters, bro. If I say the Thunder are gonna win a championship this year, the fuck does 1994 have to do with anything? You know? You feel me? Like, come on, Unc. Come on, man. But today we're going to be going through the entire Western Conference and predicting how the seedings are going to look, how the first-round matchups are going to look, how the play-in's going to look. If that interests you, we got a banger for you, so stick around. Did you throw up Crip? What'd you just do?
I did this.
Oh,
what did
shit.
you get?
I don't know. I was looking at my computer, and I just seen you throwing shit up.
I was pointing down like, oh, it's about to go down.
I was looking at my computer. I thought you were throwing shit up.
I don't claim nothing.
Okay, good,
I don't
good.
claim
Me
nothing.
neither. Just saying. I know I got the red shorts on, but that don't mean nothing.
That's why you got mad.
I was like, hey, would you? No, I'm about to do that.
We don't claim
find
anything.
me.
I'm sorry.
We don't live in California. All right. So play-in predictions for my 10 and 9 seed. I guess the 10-9 matchup. At number 10, I actually just took the Suns out of this because I think the KD shit's just going to fuck them up.
Yeah.
So I got the Mavericks at 10.
Yeah.
I have the Mavericks sliding, and I have the Kings at number 9. And if they were to play in the first play-in game, I think I would have the Mavericks winning, barring AD's health, obviously. AD, I think I read that he should be back, or he gets reevaluated next week. So hopefully he'll be back by like 2 weeks, but you never really know. And then the Kings, they've been interesting. Like, I didn't know they had Markelle Fultz. I've been watching.
They picked him up.
Yeah, I've been watching. I was like, damn, Markelle's out there like doing his thing.
Yes,
okay.
sir. They needed him.
Low key, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think he's a missing piece for them. I think they need a real point guard. Yeah. I think that's the reason I knocked this team. But yeah, Kings 9, Mavericks 10. You're the same thing you said?
Yes, sir.
What's your 7-8 then?
All right, 7-8. I have the Los Angeles Clippers as 7, and I have the Golden State Warriors as number 8.
You're crazy, bro. I think the Clippers are good. Like, I really believe in the Clippers.
I think Minnesota may have a chance to steal that 6th seed from them.
Really?
I think they have a chance.
I did kind of the opposite of you, and we'll talk about it a little later.
Just do a little flip?
Well, I got the Clippers stealing someone's spot because I just think that roster is really complete. But my 7, I have the Timberwolves, and my 8, I have the Warriors.
Got you.
So I think the Warriors are a roster that's kind of built for the playoffs. And I think they can climb for sure. I just don't know. Like, they're kind of behind on some of these teams, and it's going to be hard for them to – I mean, not really hard, but you don't want to play back. You know, they're down a game to the Wolves, down a game to the Clippers, down 4 games to the Lakers. I think their ceiling to me would be 6 in the regular season.
Yeah. In
the playoffs, though, this team kind of scares me. I think they're pretty good. With that being said, I have the Warriors at 8, Timberwolves at 7. I don't know if I said that. Okay. But if they were to play in the play-in, I have the Warriors actually winning the play-in game. Okay. And then I have the Timberwolves beating the Mavericks. So the Mavericks would be eliminated in my scenario. Got you.
So in my scenario, I have the Flippers beating the Warriors, and then the Warriors falling down to play the Dallas Mavericks for the last game, and I have the Mavericks winning.
Really?
Only because with the Golden State Warriors, yes, they have the easiest schedule remaining so far in these last 25, 24 games, but I feel like that's going to low-key mess with them. So when they get to these games that they're playing like more serious competition, especially since it's one game, and I know they have Hemi. I know they have him, but I feel like that's going to like kind of kill them.
I think the Mavericks would be a bad matchup for them too.
Yeah.
I think their big man rotation, healthy, would be tough for little Draymond to handle. Yeah, and the Warriors, you're right. I mean, their schedule, though, it's not good, but it's going to get competitive because they play a lot of teams they're competing with. They play the Kings. They play the Knicks, which I think is a good game.
Yeah.
They play the Nuggets. Honestly, a weak schedule don't mean nothing anymore because like every team is pretty good. The Bucks they end up playing. Then they have the Raptors and Hawks, which is like pushover games. Then the Heat, we get Jimmy versus Miami.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be a fun game.
But then after that, bro, they play the Grizzlies, the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Rockets, the Suns, and the Clippers. All teams I feel like they're
Are those
kind of
the last games they play?
They also play the Spurs and the Blazers in that stretch. But in that like 8-game stretch, that's like 6 games that feel like damn near must-win games.
Okay.
You know? But yeah, they're not like they don't play the Thunder, they don't play nothing like that. I was looking to see if they would play the Mavericks because I want to see this Mavericks team versus this Warriors team.
They already played all their games against the Mavericks?
I think so, yeah.
Dang.
I want to see that with this kind of iteration. Oh, I guess did they play the Mavericks with AD? No.
Nah, they played. Oh yeah, because they played 2 of the games already.
But AD
like
wasn't
2 weeks
there.
ago?
Yeah, it was Christie.
Yeah.
So and the Warriors belt to ask them, but
because the Dallas Mavericks won 1 and then they lost 1.
Oh, so they played like back-to-back games against them?
I think it was like they played on a Tuesday and then they played on a Thursday. Like it was a one day separation, but they played them quick.
Yeah, neither had AD in it, which sucks because I do want to see. I want to see them versus AD, but
exactly.
Yeah, it would be interesting. I'd want to see how the Mavericks guard Jimmy and Steph, and the Mavericks have a scrappy core, so I feel like they could figure that out. But in mine, I think the Warriors make light work of the Timberwolves.
Got you.
So you want to start in the middle 4-5, or you want to start 1 versus 8?
Well, before we continue, I want to say the eliminated teams that I have before the playoffs start is the Golden State Warriors, Sacramento Kings, and the Phoenix Suns. And then, the lower teams obviously eliminated as well. But I just want to put that out there.
Okay, got you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess mine is the Kings, the Mavericks, and the Suns were another team in contention there. The KD stuff just scares me. I think, like, a KD, Devin Booker team could win. Yeah. Like, it's just is what it is, but it would be tough. Let's talk about the 1 versus 8. But before we do that, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Boom, Fantasy.
Man, okay, LeBron hit my parlay. Let's get it.
Oh shit, he hit it.
Yeah, bro. Look at this.
I won $200. I tailed your parlay.
How the heck did you win $200?
I used Boom Fantasy. I used their pick and spin, spun the wheel, got 10 times my money.
Bro, you gotta hook me up.
If you use code RTP, you could get a risk-free bet up to $100. Let's get back to the video. My 1 versus 8 is Thunder Timberwolves, which would be a fire-ass series. I mean, we just saw a great game on Sunday between the Thunder and the Timberwolves where Anthony Edwards blocked SGA for the win. It's kind of crazy as a basketball fan, bro, because I'm a Thunder fan, but I also got lit when that happened. Like, I was like, that shit was tough. Because that's just what it is. We just beat their ass the night before by 20. So I wasn't tripping too much on that.
I'm about to say, I don't trip when games like that happen.
Nah, it was fun. It was cool to see, like, the 2 best young stars go at it, kind of. Fun to watch. It feels like the Thunder are a lock to get the 1 seed. I don't expect you to have anything different than that.
Yeah.
And I think this would be a good series. I think it'd be competitive, but I think Thunder in 5.
Yeah.
In 5 competitive games.
Honestly, well, because now I'm thinking about your matchup. So, Anthony Edwards, Nas Reed, Jaden McDaniels, they started picking it up. Rudy
would be like damn near unplayable in this series.
Yeah, that's one thing that would really suck because I mean if he was having trouble with the whole guarding Terrence Mann outside, I mean you got to do it with this whole team over here.
Yeah, you got to do that with Chet, and he's 7 foot.
That, especially when they go small ball, when they have Cambridge Williams out there playing the 4 or the 5, but that's not gonna happen again because you got Chet back. It's gonna be tough. So in that matchup, yes, I think that OKC probably would take it, especially if Rudy Gobert's back. But if somehow Minnesota was like, let's go small ball with you guys and try to match the same energy, I feel like they could take it to 6 games. But I feel like no matter what, you guys are winning it.
Bro, I just think like there's a sour taste in everyone's mouth come playoff time for the Thunder. Like I think there's just a lot of talk that I don't agree with, bro. Like I think to win a 7-game series, you got to coach your ass off. Yeah. And we have, I think, the number 1 or number 2 coach in the NBA right now. I think it's either Dagnall or Missoula, in my opinion. So I think we would shit on this Timberwolves team. I think that it might have an Anthony Edwards game in there, but bro, you play against the best perimeter defense. Like let's say they get to 6, like that would be exhausting. Like that just. And the Timberwolves are they don't have a lot of interior presence offensively. Like Jaden McDaniels plays on the perimeter. Nas Reed plays on the perimeter. you're playing against perimeter defenders, bro. You're gonna be exhausted. You're gonna get cooked. So I think I still think 5, maybe even a sweep, honestly, because that's just like that's the type of team we are. We're like, bro, we don't see teams win this many games that much. The fuck? I thought that was a B, bro. I'm not
I'm
gonna
about
lie.
to say.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I got domination, but who do you have the Thunder playing in the first round? Dallas.
For me, yes, I have the Dallas Mavericks against the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round. Now, I'm impressed with the Thunder overall. They're 5th in offensive rating and 1st in defensive rating, which is amazing. That's almost the same level of, like, as recent teams. I want to say the 2020 Lakers, except we were 3rd in defense.
No, your guys' offense was bad.
Yeah, we were 3rd in defense, and then the offense was like 11th for 10th. But hey, we still won a chip. But hey, that just tells you how good this team is. That tells you how balanced they are. They're top 5 in everything. But I love your bench. I love SGA, Jalen Williams, and Chet, and the fact that you have guys coming in like Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, Kasem Wallace, Isaiah Hardenstein, like guys helping them all around. It's incredible. With the Dallas Mavericks, I just think that, well, obviously, they went out. They beat the Warriors for my predictions, and they go to play OKC. I think that they probably could take you guys to 6 games or maybe to 6 games, but I'm picking OKC to win in the first round. It would be a tough matchup, though.
I think the Mavericks would be a tough matchup for us, especially healthy. But again, like, I also feel like you're not going to shut out Kyrie, but we have the defense to slow Kyrie down.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't have a lot of ISO scorers. Like, how else do you generate points? Because Max Christie's cool, but I'm not relying on him to give me 20 a night. Or Clay right now, I'm not doing that. Najee Marshall, I'm not doing that. So I think we have the players to shut him out. I think it would be on like AD, Gafford, Washington, Lively to just kind of beat our ass. And I would have to see. Obviously, that happened last year. So I wouldn't count them out if they played us. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to be in that position to be there.
One thing I would look at if I was Dallas, especially if I'm playing OKC, since you don't have the ISO scores besides AD and Kyrie, and then another scorer but not really ISO, Klay Thompson, I would try to stagger them. Like, start them. Like, do your usual starting lineup that you had against Houston. Kyrie, Klay, PJ, AD, Daniel Gafford, or Derek Lively if he comes back. But then, like, through the rest of the game, it's best that you stagger them and just start putting defensive players around them so you can try to get transition points. But, I mean, it's still going to be hard because you have SGA, Jalen Williams, and Chet. But that's the best thing you could probably do because I don't think you can ever put a lineup out there where Kyrie and AD or one of them isn't on the floor.
Yeah, you can't. You'd get cooked. Like, I was watching the game last night versus Brooklyn, bro, and we deadass came back into that game without SGA.
Exactly.
Like, SGA was on the bench. And, like, coach chose for him to be on the bench. It wasn't fouls or nothing like that. Jalen Williams and Chet just hooped their ass off.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we could do that to teams. I think, like, this team is more mature than last year. I feel like this team wants to win a championship to kind of shut people up. So I would take us. But I think that would be a scarier matchup than the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Like, I would be sweating. Especially if, like, we lost the first game or something like that. I'd be like, oh, our season's over. My 2-7 matchup, I have the Grizzlies versus the Warriors. I feel like the Grizzlies are a team similar to the Thunder where, like, just no one's taking them seriously, and I don't get why. Because they've been very good this season with and without Ja. Ja was so clutch in that Phoenix game. Like, I think we got to start putting respect on Ja's name. And Jaren has been one of the most efficient scorers in basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Along with giving you, like, that dude was a defensive player of the year not too long ago. So I think we got to, because this team doesn't have a LeBron or a Steph or a Tatum, like, the names were, like, comfortable with putting in those top conversations. Like, I feel like people don't take them seriously, and I think it's just dumb. Like, if you watched Memphis this year, you know that they're a great team. They're a grind team. Like, I think it would be a hard series. And, like, I could so see the media picking the Warriors here. And I wouldn't even be mad at them because I like the Warriors, but I think the Grizzlies just all season have proven that they're, like, this elite team. I think they're in the second tier of, like, contenders.
Okay. I just don't think they're mature enough.
Why, though?
I don't think they're mature enough, bro. Like, because I still see the same tendencies that they've had years ago. Like,
what tendencies?
In 2022, I guess, or 2021, whichever year that they were being talked about as being the best, youngest team. And I was a fan because I was like, oh, they're nasty. They're going at each other and everything. But, like, the coaches know control of them.
What do you mean,
in
though?
serious
You
situations.
sound
It's
like a
literally-
white fan, like
it's
a
literally
racist
just-
dude.
Huh?
You sound like one of those like racist white
How?
fans. Like, oh, Ja's good. He just doesn't play the right.
But they're not disciplined, I guess. They aren't.
They are, bro.
They aren't disciplined.
How?
It's still the Ja show when he's out there, bro.
That's
and I feel like
good.
against the Warriors, especially a team that they've played that type of basketball against, and the Warriors still killed them with an even worse roster, I think the Warriors wipe them.
No fucking way.
I think the Warriors
You
wipe
wouldn't
them.
put bread on that, bro. The
1000%.
Grizzlies are like, I don't get how they can't be mature if they like have been a good team for the last 5 years.
They're good, but how many series have they won in the playoffs?
They made the semifinals and then they got hurt. Like, they're a good team.
Who did they beat to get to the semifinals?
They played.
I thought Minnesota beat them.
No, not last year. Or they made the semifinals.
They didn't make it last year.
Not last year. I'm not saying last year. Last year they were hurt, right?
Yeah, everybody was hurt.
They made the semifinals and they lost to Curry. I don't know who they beat in the first round.
When they lost to Curry?
They lost to Curry in the second round. 1 year. The year they were the top seed, I think.
Oh, because they beat Minnesota. But I mean, Minnesota was the same team to me. Like it
Bro,
was.
but
just
that was
Cat
4
and
years
Patrick
ago. Like
Beverley.
they're mature now. They're a veteran team
I
now.
don't
That's
see it,
what
man.
they are, bro.
I think they're still gonna get if they play the Golden State Warriors. They're especially Jimmy, Stephen Curry, and Draymond in that situation.
Bro,
they're
I'm
getting
not.
wiped.
They are not, bro. Jaren
getting
Jackson
wiped.
is busting that ass.
They're gonna get wiped.
And then Edey, bro. Like Edey was a fucking problem for the Warriors when they played. Edey fucked Draymond up because Draymond wants to do all that talking on the podcast. And then
Hey.
who do they have to guard Ja? They're cooked, bro.
Who
Like
they
that
have to guard Butler
they got
in that situation.
They got a good team defense. The Warriors don't really have that.
I trust the Warriors more in that situation.
I
than the
don't, bro,
Grizzlies.
because
I would
like, what
put
have the
money on
Warriors done
Warriors.
to make you believe that lately?
The way they played against them, they get encouraged to
That
play
was like
against the Grizzlies,
5
man.
years ago, though.
I mean, technically 3 years ago.
That's so long ago, though. This
That's
is a
not too
different
long,
team.
man.
This team has shown to be better than them. This team hasn't really like struggled this year. When Ja plays good, this team is an elite team.
I don't think so, man. I think they still got the same issues and the same problems that they're going to deal with in the playoffs.
When Ja has a game score of 20 plus, they're undefeated.
All right, let's see how
With
it does
wins
in the
over
playoffs.
Boston and Milwaukee. I'm not tripping about the Warriors compared to those teams. Like the Grizzlies are such a good team. Don't let the names fool you, bro. This team is 8-9 deep. Jalen Wells is so fucking good. This team is so solid, bro.
They're going to lose in the first round.
No fucking way.
I'm predicting it here.
There's
Memphis Grizzlies
there's
are going to
no
lose
way.
in the first round.
There's no way. I hope they play y'all.
I hope they do because we're going to give them
your
a
ass.
bigger
If the
can of whoop
Grizzlies,
ass, bro.
if the Grizzlies
I
played the
promise
Lakers,
you.
Grizzlies in
I
5.
promise you. We
Grizzlies in
whooping the
5.
Grizzlies, bro.
Hell no.
LeBron ain't letting that happen.
Hell no. Bro,
Luka ain't letting that
hell
happen.
no. Hell
Rui ain't
no.
letting that happen. Austin Reeves ain't letting
We
that
throwing
happen.
out Rui
Dorian
now.
Finney-Smith ain't letting that happen.
Come on, bro.
And most of all, Jared Vanderbilt ain't letting that happen.
The Grizzlies have been shown to be such a good fucking team this year.
All right.
They
Let's see
ain't
it.
losing to Charlotte. They're not losing to Utah.
Hey, they going to be just like the Utah Jazz when they had that first seed and they going to lose again.
The Jazz made the conference finals.
No,
They made the second
not
round.
when they had that first place.
But they were in a 7-game series in the second round.
Okay, my bad. Let me switch that.
They don't lose in the first round.
But either way, Memphis Grizzlies lose in the first round.
Fuck no. No
Promise
fucking
you.
way. There's just no way.
Promise you.
This team, bro, I'm telling you, this team is just too fucking good. Like, they're just too all around good at basketball. They don't, like, what's a hole in this team? What do they do bad?
They are undisciplined.
What do they do bad, Phil, in a basketball sense?
Bro, they are all over the
What
in a
does
basketball
undisciplined
sense.
mean? What makes you say they're undisciplined?
It's just too, I think it's too revolved around Ja Morant.
That's how basketball's played.
It is, but
Every team is like that. Shea, it's too revolved around Shea. It's too revolved around Luka. Like
but
it's
the
too
guys
revolved
around him,
Jokic.
especially with
That's how
OKC,
basketball's
that's
played.
different.
The Grizzlies
The
have
team
a
is
great
different.
all-around team. The Grizzlies
I
play
don't
have
see it.
7 dudes averaging
I don't
10
see
plus.
it.
What don't you see?
I don't see it with them. The way
Bro,
they play,
they are
man.
so I bet they have like 7 dudes averaging over 10 points, bro. They're so fucking good.
All right, but when the playoffs hit, they're gonna lose.
No, like that's
Promise
just
you.
dumb though.
That's not dumb. It's
That's
for
just
real.
that's no reasoning behind that. Like Jalen Wells, Santi Aldama, Desmond Bain, Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson, Luke Kennard, Scottie Pippen Jr., Edey, Gigi Jackson's back. Like, bro, this is a good fucking team. Brandon Clark's been playing great minutes for them. Like, and then they've had dudes like Jay Huff, Vince Williams, who come in there and make an impact when they're in there.
First round exit.
See, that's just there's no reasoning
First
behind
round
that.
exit.
They had Marvin Bagley this season.
When did they get Marvin Bagley?
I think he played. It says he played one game for them. They probably had him
But
for a
they
game
waive
and
him?
cut him. Yeah,
Actually, I was wondering why he wasn't
Poor
playing
guy.
with the Wizards for a second. I was like, where was he?
my goat. You're crazy though.
Either way.
what's
first
your
round exit, Memphis
2-7?
Grizzlies. My 2-7, I think it's only because they're still
All right,
tied.
same thing. Warriors, right?
Huh?
Are you had
I
Nuggets
have
too?
the Los Angeles Clippers at 7, and then the Denver Nuggets at 2.
Oh, I
only
need to see
because
that.
they both have the same record,
Uh-huh.
so it kind of screwed me up. But Denver, I mean, yeah, they don't really have the strongest lineup like they used to before, but I mean, they're still a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Like they're second in offensive rating, but 19th in defensive rating, and it's weird to me. But then somebody's telling me their transition defense has been terrible. So playing like that against this, or in today's league, when everybody's moving, going, like running gun, kind of gonna happen. But with Los Angeles, I mean, 21st in offensive rating. I mean, I feel like they're gonna get better anyways. They've had injuries, but third in defensive rating.
I like this Clippers team a lot, bro.
They play really hard, so I feel like this might be even for this prediction. This might even be a tough matchup. Could you see this going to 7?
Yeah, I could. I think the Nuggets have a better chance of losing in the first round than the Grizzlies do. Just because, like, we kind of know what the Nuggets are, and it's a good team. I think they're the safest team in the West. But if that's the matchup for the Nuggets, the Clippers to me are becoming one of the sneakiest, scary teams in the NBA. Like Kawhi, I don't think he'll ever be top 10 again, but he could be like an elite closer in the NBA, bro.
Yeah.
And that's for sure. I've been watching his highlights this season, and his shot isn't falling, but it's the same game. He's just getting to his spots. You know, he plays so smooth. Harden will keep you in a game constantly. Norman Powell is like low-key one of the best pure scorers in basketball. Zubac does his job. They just got dogs, and then they have defense all around these guys, bro. And Ben Simmons there too. Like, I know we want to shit on Ben Simmons, but Ben Simmons will lock your ass the fuck up.
Yeah, he had like 6, 8, 8, 1, 1 yesterday, I think.
Yeah, against
I think it was
Chicago.
Against, it was against Chicago, but I do think that the only question for the Flippers is can Kawhi stay on the floor? Because, I mean, for this matchup, if he can, they do have a chance to boost their offense and maybe beat them because since their transition defense has been super bad. But, I mean, if he's gone, that just makes it harder for James Harden and all these. Norman Powell's out there, but I feel like that's just way harder. And then you got to deal with Jokic. And I know Zubac, I mean, he's big enough to handle it. But, I mean, then you got to worry about the Aaron Gordons and the Michael Porter Jr.'s outside.
Yeah, and on the perimeter, too.
Yeah.
Like, Jokic will go to work on the perimeter.
So, yeah, for this matchup, I mean, I'm going to choose the Nuggets only because I'm still iffy on Kawhi. But if Kawhi's healthy, I mean, I could see the Flippers making it out.
Yeah, I need to see healthy Kawhi for me to take them serious. Nuggets are my 3 seed, and I have them playing against the Lakers. I think that would be a fun-ass series. And I know you guys just beat them last week, but I think I would have Nuggets in 5, 6.
I would say 6 if we're going to do it that way.
Well, I don't think – I mean, you know enough about basketball, bro, to realize, like, that's not going to be a consistent thing that happens. Like, Jokic isn't going to play that bad against the Lakers every time.
Yeah, obviously.
You know, so that's my whole thing. I think we would get a very good Jokic series.
I mean, yeah, without a doubt, Jokic is going to go crazy because they would do a better job in game plan around what we did. But I feel like we have a better bench than they do. And I feel like we also have a better identity than them. Because right now their identity is Jokic. And
I don't think y'all know your identity yet. You guys have had Luka 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, yeah, we had Luka 2 weeks, but also we have transformed into a good defensive team now.
Yeah, I do like your team.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to shit on the Lakers. I'm more saying I think the Nuggets have a better superstar and better role players. Like, you do have them on the bench, but I'm saying Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, even like Jamal Murray, I guess. I don't think of him as like a star player. He's a role player to me. Like, I just think their team works better. And I think like the Lakers, Jokic would have to play like shit for the Lakers to have a chance at the series, and I just don't think that would be the case.
I don't know. I feel like also like because now we have a more dangerous like if Jokic is off the floor.
If Jokic is off the floor, they're cooked. Like if he's not on the court, I don't
because also last year, remember that stat when they said like we held the lead longer?
Yeah.
And then we should have obviously we should have won, but you know, we had I'm blaming that fully on Darvin Ham, bro.
Uh-huh.
And then now, I feel like with JJ Redick in that position, I don't feel like he would ever let that happen. Like, I feel like if we hold the lead, like, we'll be able to hold the lead a little
I
better
agree,
than
but
before.
I don't think it would be the same thing as last year. Last year, y'all had AD for Jokic.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different situation. The reason the Nuggets won is because Jamal Murray was different against you guys. And I don't, and I'm not even saying that. Like, I'm not saying, like, oh, Jamal Murray, he always hoops against the Lakers, so he's going to, like, I don't believe in that shit. Like, maybe that is real, maybe that's not real, but that's not a good enough gauge for me to make an argument for.
Yeah.
I know Jokic is going to fuck Jackson Hayes up. You know, like, Jamal Murray could have a great series or a mediocre series. I guess that would be the difference in the number of games it goes for me. I don't know if he would have a great series because I do feel like you guys are better defensively on the perimeter than last year.
Yeah.
But I don't think you guys are as good on the interior as last year.
Oh, definitely not.
And I think it would just come down to if Jokic's teammates can knock down shots. Because I think Jokic, like, y'all would have to damn near double Jokic every play.
Yeah, but that's another thing, too. I trust in our perimeter defense now that we could make up or force them to shoot way more difficult shots that would force them to miss. Because that's why I think, without a doubt, Jokic is probably going to have a 40, 20, 10 game, a 30, 15, 10 game. But I feel like his teammates are going to have worse shooting nights.
I think it depends. Like, I think it depends how you play him.
Yeah.
Because if you're doubling him, then dudes are going to get open shots. That's just how the Nuggets play. But I think if you guys play him straight up, then yeah, because I do think your defense is better.
Yeah.
So you're going to have Michael Porter and Jamal Murray having create a little bit more, which obviously they can do, but it would be more difficult than last year, I think. I don't think it's just like Jamal Murray goes out there and busts Gabe Vincent and Austin Reeves' ass. Like, I don't think that would be the situation. But this is a series I would want to see. I would really want to see this series. I think it would be good basketball. I think it'd be fun to watch. It's like two very different teams where one is like a very elite perimeter scoring team in the Lakers with Luka and Austin Reeves. And then the other team is like, we're going to get the ball down low and we're going to figure it out from there with Jokic. So, I mean, like, definitely there's a world where the Lakers win, but I would probably go Nuggets in 5.
Okay. I would say either Nuggets in 6 or Nuggets in 7 only because Jokic scares the crap out of me. But I don't know. Knowing us.
I don't think this is, like, the best version of the Nuggets. You know, like, I think this is one of the weaker Nuggets teams we've seen in the last couple years. So I'll give y'all that. But
I think we're definitely going to give them a way better run for their money. But I think we're going to take them farther than before.
Okay.
Like not a 5 or a 4, but definitely like 6 or 7.
Okay. What's your 3-6?
My 3-6 is the Memphis Grizzlies and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
That would be fire.
Yeah, I think this would be a really fun one only because I would love to see Ant versus Ja. I feel like that'd be super fun. But for this matchup, I actually do see the Memphis Grizzlies winning this.
Okay.
Only for this matchup. Only because the way it's going, like, Rudy Gobert hurt a little bit, but also, like, I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is doing better where he could exploit that. I think their team matches up a little better because I like their bench more than the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Julius Randle might be a sneaky.
He would be the difference maker in this series.
I think it like for the Minnesota Timberwolves to win this series, as I'm predicting it, Julius Randle would have to like go back to Nick Randle.
No, I wouldn't even say that, bro. I think matchup wise, like you can't play Edey out there if Rudy's not there because Edey can't guard Randle and he can't guard Naz Reid.
Yeah,
like he would just get blown by every time. So
I think over. Yeah,
exactly. I think if Edey or if Randle is playing like anything good, like if he could just get to his spots, then I think the Timberwolves could make noise in that series. But again, I just think the Grizzlies are so sound. Like I don't see flaws in their game. Like, I think they're a good playmaking team, good defensive team, good offensive team. Like, that's all you could really ask for in a team. And they want it, bro. Like, they got a lot of young dudes who just, like, I feel like have chip on their shoulder vibes. Like, Jalen Wells, second-round pick. Edey's, like, a dude that they're like, oh, he won't pan out. I didn't think he'd pan out in the NBA, and he's looked decent this season. Jaren and Ja, like, there's so many conversations about them. And then Bane started the season playing ass. He's kind of picked it up this year. Like, I think they could compete, bro. I really do. But the Timberwolves would be interesting. I would probably go Grizzlies in 5. Grizzlies in 5.
I'm gonna say Grizzlies for this one, in 7, only because the only thing that's questionable to me is the Minnesota Timberwolves offense, but it's not that bad. They're 13th in offensive rating, but their defense is still really good.
Yeah, their defense is good.
Yeah.
I think it would come down to what version of Anthony Edwards we get. And we saw like in the first round last year, he busted ass. And then I think it was the Denver series where offensively he wasn't as good, and that series got close.
Yeah, I think it was the last 2 games he wasn't that good offensively.
But he locked in defensively.
Yeah.
So, I think if we could get a very offensive-oriented Anthony Edwards that's knocking down his shots, then that makes the series interesting. But I don't know if that's a guarantee.
All right.
My 4-5 matchup, this one's sad because I do think the Rockets could compete in the playoffs, but I don't know if they could beat the Clippers. Like, if the Clippers are healthy, I really like this Clippers team, and I think they got the matchups to slow down this Rockets team a lot. Yeah, I want to put respect on the Rockets. I'm not a dude who's like, the Rockets are great, but they're unproven. I just think, like, if you're playing great basketball, you're playing great basketball at the end of the day, and the Rockets have been doing that. But I think this Clippers team, bro, is like another one of those teams that's all around very good. Like, I just think there's not a lot of holes in this team. So I would probably go Clippers in 7.
But 7-game series, 4-5. You always love that.
Yeah, that would be a good ass series.
Bro, I'm not mad at that. I just think that the Houston has something, and I feel like they have more of a, like, I don't even know, because it's not like they really have to prove something. Like, they're still
this was
young.
their prove it year. Like, they're like, we're competitive now. You know, like, they've had a good season, but I don't think this is like I don't think they want to lose in the first round, you know?
Yeah, I feel like if anything, the pressure would be more in your matchup with the Flippers, on the Flippers to win.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Houston, it's like they're already a really good defensive team. Like, they could just try to embarrass these dudes, try to beat them in transition, and just, like, I mean, hope to God that Kawhi doesn't come back if he were to get hurt. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like Houston would win in that series.
I'm not mad at it. Like, I think the Rockets have been playing really good basketball, and I think out of all the teams that they could match up with, I think the Clippers might be the worst matchup for them. Like, especially with Freddie back, like, they're gonna be good, but I like the Clippers a lot, bro. I think, and honestly, I've fallen for this trap like every year where I'm like, the Clippers, I like them in the playoffs, you know, and they just get buzzed. But this roster to me makes more sense than it did with Kawhi and Paul George. Like, it's more well-rounded. It fits more. And I think their defense is a lot better. Like, everyone clowned Norman Powell for what he said before the season. Like, this is the best defensive team I played with. But, like, this shit makes sense. It just works. They're a really good defensive team. And we get Harden versus the Rockets, like, in a 7-game series. Like, that's what we all want.
That is true, but I don't know. That's so funny that people thought that it wasn't going to be a good defensive team. Like, offense, yeah, it was going to be shaky, but defense, I mean, they have guys who are willing to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like, it was James Harden. Well, before Kawhi came back, it was James Harden and Norman Powell. With Derek Jones, Chris Dunn, Zubac, like, you name it. All these guys are guys who play defense. So
KPJ,
but now he's with Milwaukee.
Yeah, but he was playing good defense first half of the year.
That too. So, I don't know. I feel like that would be a good series.
Yeah.
I really would. I feel like that would be the one everybody would watch besides, you know, Luka and the Lakers. But, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm only watching 5 games of the Lakers. So.
That's going to be 6 or 7 if it's the Nuggets.
What's your 4-5?
My 4-5 is the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Houston Rockets.
Dude, I think that would be a good matchup.
Because no matter what, I do think that we're going to be interchanging with the Rockets. Like, it'll be 5-4. 4-5, kept switching.
So you think that's the matchup they have guaranteed?
I think that's going to be the matchup guaranteed.
Dang. Okay.
I know our schedule is hard, but I think we can sustain being like 4-5. And then maybe we'll drop to 6, but then we'll go back up to 4-5.
I have you guys at 6, just because I think the Lakers have a lot more to figure out than the Clippers still. That's how I feel, at least offensively. And I want to see them, like, sure, they beat the Nuggets, but I want to see more competitive games with them, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, you got the Lakers winning, I'm guessing?
Yes, I have the Lakers winning against the Houston Rockets only because, I mean, yes, their defense is really good, but also they have times when they get stagnant on offense.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it'll change because I've been watching games also where Fred VanVleet, or I've seen more games where Fred VanVleet hasn't been playing, so maybe that's one of the missing pieces they have.
That's what I think.
But also, Dylan Brooks is on this team. And LeBron
See, bro, that's
is
the
going to
basketball conversations I don't like. Like, I just don't think those are.
He's gonna go in. That's all the encouragement he needs.
They're Nuggets in 4 because Jamal Murray versus the Lakers. You know what he does. But I would take the Rockets. I think in that series, I think it would be. I think it would be 6. I think I would go Rockets in 6 if I had to put an official prediction on that. Just because I agree with you that their offense gets stagnant without Fred there.
Yeah.
But if Fred's there, bro, like that kind of completes what they're missing. Because we all know defensively, we all know they'll beat you on the fast break. I think it's the half-court offense that's just nasty right now. Like they can't do anything. But I think when Fred was there, it didn't look like that. When they beat us in that game, like it didn't look like they had a stagnant half-court offense. I also think they have the guys to put on Luka and LeBron. Like, I know you could shit on Dylan Brooks, but Dylan Brooks is a good defensive player.
No, he is.
Amen Thompson is a good defensive player. And then Alperen Şengün's he's cool, but he's a good help defender.
Oh, yeah.
So he'll get the job done there. And I think Şengün would eat up Jackson Hayes. Like, I know I just shit on Jackson Hayes a lot.
No, he would.
But I don't think Jackson Hayes is that good. I think right now, it's like easy to love Jackson Hayes because he's playing with Luka and LeBron. All he has to do is jump and catch a fucking lob.
Yeah.
But I think as a basketball player, bro, I just don't think he's that good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say like on any other team he has a chance to start and maybe just help out, like not the star of the team, but be a help defender.
Jackson Hayes?
I'm saying he's not doing
Okay.
it, but like
Because I was gonna say like what? And this is just shitting on the dude.
Yeah.
But what teams would Jackson Hayes start on?
the Nets, maybe. If
Dude,
they trade
Darren
Nick
Sharp
Claxton.
looked way better than Jackson Hayes ever has yesterday.
Actually, come to think of it, probably no team.
Bro,
so you know what? For the Lakers, he works well. He
works well offensively.
Yeah, but what's it called? I know that one thing that makes me nervous too with Houston is that Jackson Hayes gets into foul trouble a lot of times because he jumps and he always tries to go over the plane or whatever the hell, not be vertical. So I don't know. That'd be one thing that would make me nervous with Houston. But one thing that's really selling me is that dynamic of LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. Because you start the three of them, and then you always have a playmaker on the floor.
Yeah.
That is one thing that I'm really liking.
I think that's elite, obviously. But I also think there's flaws in that too. Dude, there's dead ass on a team I could start Jackson Hayes on. Maybe New Orleans, but
I mean, Eve's Missy.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not starting Jackson Hayes over Eve's Missy.
So, it's cool. It's good. No, I'm not gonna lie. That's a good big three offensively, perimeter wise. But I think defensively it gets cooked up, and I think because those three, except Austin Reeves. I think Austin Reeves is good at this, not elite at this. They're not great at playing without the ball. You know.
I mean, LeBron's been really good playing off the ball lately.
I don't think so. I think he's been crashing well, but I don't think he's been like, I don't know, like he's not like a slasher or like, he's good. He's not great is what I'm saying. So I think a team like Houston that has good perimeter defense, I don't think it would be amazing. I think you put Freddie on Reeves, you put Amen on Luka, and then you put Dylan Brooks on LeBron, and like they got to go to work, you know? And if they go to work, I do think the Lakers could win that series, but I think that's an exhausting way to play basketball, you know? Like, that's why the Harden Rockets teams never went far, because Harden had to just go to work every fucking play. And I guess it's three players. It's different. You could say Luka's better than prime Harden. I don't think so. But, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm still going to stick with Lakers.
I'm not mad at it. I'm
Six.
not mad at it, especially because – and Houston is a team that I'll say this about. They're inexperienced because this is their first time really with. I mean, they're inexperienced. Their best players are, but Van Vliet's had a championship run. Dylan Brooks has playoff appearances. Jeff Green's had playoff experiences. But I think this is just the Lakers would be a good matchup for the Rockets to get that experience. Yeah. Even if they win or lose, I think it's a good season for Houston.
Yeah.
But you guys let us know at home. What do you think? Are the Grizzlies getting bounced out the first round? Yeah. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow. Phil, you got anything else you want to say?
Got you. Make sure to add us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure to hit that bell as well. I'm your man, Phil. This is the boy, Ant-Man, straight out the MCU. We out, and let's bounce.
Bounce, baby. Boom.